Welcome back, New World Fantasy Football. Wanted to do a quick video talking about my top 6 values right now in drafts using ADP, the best ball ADP currently. Before I get started, something I don't really do too often, and I'm going to start doing more because, that's the content creator YouTube world, is asking for you to like and subscribe and maybe leave a comment. It'll be a shorter one today, so you'll actually have something to comment on without having to watch or listen to over an hour and a half of content. So I'm just going to jump right into it. Actually, one more thing first. I am looking to get a listener dynasty league together. 12-team, half PPR dynasty league. Never done dynasty before, so if you have an advantage on me. Paul will be my co-manager as well, giving me some great insight, I'm sure. But let's jump right into it now. Top 6 values. My number 1 value right now is going to be Derrick Henry. I think Derrick Henry is going to have a great year. The age cliff is something that gets talked about a lot, and it's very valid. I think that Derrick Henry is at least got one more good year in him. He's got another round in him. I think that the Ravens are such a good offense and a good rushing offense. They've been a good rushing offense for a long time. When you're betting on their receivers, it doesn't seem to work out quite as well because most of that offense is going to run through Lamar and a running game, and Lamar just hasn't supported a lot of high-end wide receivers. But just looking at stats from last year, Gus Edwards, 13 touchdowns on the ground. J.K. Dobbins had 1 before he got hurt. Lamar had 5 on his own, and Keaton Mitchell ended up having 2. So you add those all together, that's 21 rushing touchdowns. Is Lamar going to get some? Of course. Is Henry going to get vultured? Gosh, he might not throughout the whole season. Maybe he will. I don't know if you want to call it a vulture if somebody runs it in from far out, but within the 5, unless he's just carried the ball 12 times in a row, I don't think they're taking Derrick Henry out. So I legitimately think he has 20 touchdown upside, and right now he's going for his ADP is 32. So roughly a late 3rd, early 4th, however you play, 12, 10 team, whatever. But he's somewhere around that turn, and you're getting somebody who can legitimately be an RB1. So I think that's a great value. Next guy I have, my second value, I've actually got Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is a guy who I've never really been super high on. Obviously the rushing ability is great, but looking into some of the numbers, coming off an ACL, so you got to keep that in mind. 6 rush attempts a game when he came back. He averaged about 32 yards rushing a game. Nothing spectacular, but it's something. 3 extra points. If his passing is worth 14 or 15 and he bumps you up to 17, 18, that's a respectable week for a standard scoring 4 points per touchdown pass quarterback passing league. So I like that. He's essentially he's the 10th overall quarterback. So if you're in a 10-team league, then you're going to be able to get him for a steal because you can kind of wait. If everybody gets their quarterback and you're still just sitting there, maybe you get a couple more rounds of value until people start gobbling up their backups. And Kyler Murray can be a really good pick this year. ADP is 77, and as I said earlier, the QB 10. Plus, did I even mention? I don't have to mention it. You already know. He's got Marvin Harrison Jr. on his team now. He's got Trey Benson on his team, and he's got a Trey McBride who had been starting to break out towards the end of last year. I think he's going to have a good connection with again. So some weapons in Arizona for Kyler. If he can get his legs going again consistently, maybe he'll double his touchdowns from last year. He had 3 touchdowns on the ground, only playing 8 games. So he's got a lot of value, I think, as the QB 10 right now. As my computer wants to be weird. Quiet. Okay. So I have kind of a combo for you, my 3 and 4. And I think I'm going to get some pushback, at least on the quarterback here, because I've got Justin Herbert. He is the QB 15 right now. And I simply disagree. I think that Justin Herbert is, as most would agree, very talented quarterback. Yeah, his weapons right now, kind of ugly. If you believe in McConkey, okay, that's one guy. Quentin Johnston obviously had his struggles, massive struggles last year. You've got no real tight end to speak of. You've got Josh Palmer out there who's, kind of your quintessential wide receiver 3. So it's not amazing, but I do think that Justin Herbert's overall talent is going to make him better than the QB 15, which is where he's going right now. Even if he gets to 11 or 12, that's still a really good value. And, by proxy, I'm also giving kind of a value to Ladd McConkey. I think Ladd McConkey landed in a great spot because I think he's going to be kind of that super slot out of the number one that plays out of the slot more than anywhere else. And he's going to get a lot of targets, like kind of filling in that Keenan Allen role that we saw was extremely valuable last year. Keenan Allen was amazing for the better portion of the season. And, I think that the narrative of Harbaugh being this run guy is only half true. I think he is a run-first guy, but I don't think that he's going to completely abandon the passing game because you have I don't even want to say elite because I think that term gets used too much, but you have a very good quarterback that is capable of throwing the ball deep, running the ball himself, and just overall just a very good quarterback that you can work with. And I think McConkey is going to be a really good player for PPR, full PPR, even half PPR, but full PPR. You've got to raise his value up. So he's the wide receiver 46 in best ball ADPs right now. And once again, that's just too low for me. I think that Ladd McConkey is a talented guy, and he's going to fit right in to this offense and provide value when you draft him later than you should be going. So that was 3 and 4. Number 5, DeAndre Swift. Recently of the Lions and then the Bears. I got that wrong. Lions, Eagles, Bears. Oh my. So ADP of 78, RB 23. I've always liked DeAndre Swift from a athletic standpoint. He's an explosive player. He's a solid receiver, and I think that rookie quarterbacks tend to lean on their running backs a lot more than a veteran quarterback would. I know that the world is just waiting for Caleb Williams to explode from week 1 and be just, a top 3 quarterback in the league because his talent can definitely lead him there eventually. But let's remember, was he better than Josh Allen? Is he better than Josh Allen coming out of college? You can make that argument. I guess I would say yes. I think I would say yes for sure, actually. But I still don't think he's going to be at that level right away. I think it's going to take him some time to come into his own, and the running back's going to be leaned on. That all said is why DeAndre Swift to me is a good value because, as I said before, an explosive player. I think their offense is going to be good enough with those weapons to consistently be down on the red zone, and DeAndre Swift is going to be a versatile player for them. So guys that are behind him with Roschon Johnson, okay, well, Roschon hasn't proven anything. Yeah, I guess you could say he's a post-hype sleeper if you want to call him that. I'm not betting on that. I don't think the Bears are betting on that, or else they wouldn't have signed DeAndre Swift to a decent contract and very quickly in the process in free agency. Like, they were looking for a running back. And then, of course, they have Khalil Herbert as well, who is good, not great. No one to get super worried about. Are those guys going to mix in with the whole, running back trio, I'm sure. But I think that the one to have is DeAndre Swift. And, he'll make you happy. Drafting him as like your running back 3, maybe even 4. He's going under guys like Najee Harris. You really want to rely on that over an explosive player like DeAndre Swift? Going to be in better offense? Nah, I'm going to take DeAndre Swift. Number 6, my final one, I have an honorable mention. I'll get to that, of course. But my number 6 guy, wide receiver 74 with an ADP right now of 183 here in late May. Ja'Lynn Polk. I just don't get how this guy is going so low. You've got somebody like a Rome Odunze going a lot higher because he's a better prospect, number one. He's on a better offense, and I get that. But he's still coming in with a rookie quarterback, which historically do not support wide receiver ones. The only way they do is if that wide receiver 1 is an absolute star. Like Justin Jefferson is still pretty much a top 3, maybe top 4 wide receiver, however you want to slice it. In ADP right now, in drafts right now, he's like the wide receiver 3 to 4, somewhere in that range. And he's got a rookie quarterback coming in. Is J.J. McCarthy going to start right away? Maybe not. But then again, the only other option is Sam Darnold, and he's nothing special. Jefferson has done it with Nick Mullins and Josh Dobbs and stuff like that, where he can still be super productive. But point I'm trying to make, Rome Odunze with Caleb Williams, rookie quarterback, you think he's going to support the wide receiver 3? And even if Rome Odunze is quickly the wide receiver 2, because I don't think DJ Moore is going anywhere, I don't think that the production is going to be that sexy. But Ja'Lynn Polk projects to be the wide receiver 1 for the Patriots right away. Drake May, well, I think he's pretty darn talented. Not as talented as Caleb Williams, but pretty darn talented, and you never know, could end up having a better career. Quarterbacks are one of those very hard to predict positions, but NFL gets it wrong all the time. Fans get it wrong all the time. Who knows? So I believe Drake May is good enough to at least get you like consistent flex value from his wide receiver 1 on a offense that doesn't really have much. They've got Ramondre Stevenson to run the ball. That's cool, but you saw it last year. Running the ball that much doesn't really score you a lot of points. The Patriots were tied, and I'm forgetting with what team, for the worst offense in the league. So that tells me they have to do something different. They drafted towards that. First round Drake May, second round Ja'Lynn Polk. Right there, okay, they've got the QB to wide receiver duo that they're hoping to lean on for years to come. They want that development to start right away. So, wide receiver 74, I would bet body parts that he's going to be above wide receiver 74 at the end of the year. That's really it. I got one honorable mention. I just want to say, keep your radar for TJ Hawkinson with his injury. And if you get him late in drafts because people are scared of the injury, that's totally understandable that people are scared. It's hard to come back from ACL and play a position where you're going to be running hard and making cuts and all that. I don't think you're going to get great value right away. But if you've got a deep bench or an IR spot or two, and you can stash TJ Hawkinson away for like an 8th or 9th round pick, and then he ends up being a top 5 tight end when he comes back, tremendous value right there, right? So that's really all I got today. Trying to keep it quick. I'll say it once again, as I said earlier in the video, please like, subscribe, comment, and check out the description for the Dynasty League. Could be a lot of fun. And I want to play with people who want to be involved with the show. So, thank you. Peace.